are we the best library in 2009? And maybe, probably, I hope so, in 2010 also. But the fact was that a judge, some wise men and women decided that we were the best library because we added something more than all other libraries did in the Netherlands. And I think they were right. We try to give more than just only answers on questions. We try to give people a better experience, a better place to meet, a better place to be, something that's near their heart. And I think that's what people recognize, and that's why we won this prize.
Do you know a library which was second?
Yes, it was Amsterdam. Amsterdam was the second, on second place, and they lost it on the service they gave. We won it on the service. We're sitting here in the center of the library building. Here you've got a long stairs, as you can see. And on here behind me there's people sitting, drinking coffee and having fun and whatever. And the original idea of building this library was not just only IT. We first had to think of a concept where people wanted to stay longer. One of the main things, although, was that IT, you can't leave it out. Just for the simple reason that when you have a service going on, people bring in their books, it's easy to do that by self-service. So that's the first step where IT gives you space to design other things. And normally these people would have to take books, and that's quite expensive. Now it's completely computerized.
When did you build this library?
This library was built in, it was an old building, and it's refurbished, so redesigned. And that started in 2004, and it ended in 2006. At the end of 2006, and we went into this building at the beginning of 2000. My vision of a library is that it's a place where people can connect on a physical way, by means of the digital highway. So my dream library would be a place where people really connect to the stories they tell to each other, to the stories they can get, to the things they can get, and to be inspired by each other. And I think that's very important, because there are not too many places where people can inspire each other when they don't know each other. And a library can be such a place. And that's our vision, to build that modern library where people will engage, inspire themselves and others. I think one of the most important people who come to your library are the little children, the ones that are still from 0 to 12. Those are the ones who really get inspired by the things they see. They still open up their minds and hearts for everything the world brings. So it's an important age to have them as a library inside. And we try to build as much space and easy things you can play, you can do. And you even can go wherever you want to a little, what we call, hole. Not dark hole, but a blue hole, like a blue sea, where you can get little books and things and easy things, whatever you want, whatever a child wants. A child wants to play and wants to be learning things of the world. The project Agora, Storyboard of My Life, Agora. The Agora was the old Greek square where people met. Stories were being interchanged and exchanged, where people told each other things about life and gave each other all kind of hints and tips on how to get through life. They really exchanged things. Now we want to build a kind of agora in DOK, and we built a sort of kind of marketplace, market square. And what we did is to build a very, very big screen. It's a screen about longer than 15 meters and at least 3 meters high, where people can project their storyboards of their life. And so people come in and say, hey, whoa, I see something that has to do with my life. And they can intermingle, they can react on it, they can do something with it. So here you bring the digital world and the physical world together. And all these people that are sitting here, like there on those tables, they all can enjoy, at least at the end, the Agora storyboard of my life. Gaming is very important in our lives. More or less everyone less than 30 years of age has been gaming every day, some hours, some minutes, some game. Everyone games. And today, even elderly people are starting to play games. It's just a use of new computers like the Wii or others. They enjoy and they find out that there's a better way to play games than just only buy a board game. They can do anything. It makes their world, their virtual world, much bigger. Now DOK thinks it's very important, even as a library, you should know that gaming is a part of your library. It's just as important as books are, as music is, as art is. The library is more than only books, we say.
When did you started to prepare this idea?
Well, from the beginning, because we really thought that it was strange that libraries were into books but never into games. While you see that young people change from books to games. Sometimes a game can be as adventurous as a book can be. So,
what adult people think about it?
Well, adult people here understand quite well why it's being used. Firstly, because they're playing themselves already games. They understand what a computer is these days. So here's not a big issue that we're so strongly fighting for having games in libraries.
Do you have any sponsor, someone who gave you money on this?
Sponsors?
Yes, sponsors.
No, what we did is we wrote to some foundations with the idea, because we saw that from other practices around the world that gaming could be a very good way to get, for example, children that were not good in reading, to get them better reading while using a game. So
yes, because I think that this kind of fun is sometimes very expensive for other library.
But it isn't. You see, libraries always think of money for the personnel and some of their collections. But if you say, listen, if games are important, maybe we should spend less money on books and more money on games, then it's not a question of money. It's just a question of how you divide your budget. DOK has its own gaming site, www.dokgaming.com. And why? For the simple reason that if you want to be taken seriously as a library, you have to be in a serious spot where serious gamers are. Because only then, when people take you serious, they will take you for as what you are. So we started this kind of site, dokgaming.com, and it's quite popular. And every year we have a big gaming contest here in our library. About 200 of the best gamers come down here and spend here for over more than 48 hours stride to who's going to be the best. Well, in DOK have our own ILS, library system. We design it ourselves for the simple reason that most of the ILSs are built on the collection of books. Books are the most important part of the database. While we in DOK Delft think that not books are important in our collection, but the people who are coming to visit our library are the collection. And that's the one we want to preserve and want to look after. So we had to rebuild our own database from a book collection database to a people collection database. And we call that client tricks. Client tricks because they are clients and we can do some tricks, and then it comes client tricks. It's a database based on people's metadata, what they do, what they like, what they don't like, and where we can help them. And I must say, it's a wonder. It brings us, I think, much further than any other library at this stage in time. I think that is true, but the question is, when is the future? Is it tomorrow? Is it the day after tomorrow? Is it in 20, 30, 40, 50 years? I think it will take a long time before this paperbook will really disappear. It's quite a handy and convenient way of reading. So, but you shouldn't forget the speed of digitization, and that can go very fast. A company like Amazon, Jeff Bezos, the president said, in 2050 there will be no paper book left in our storage.